Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the 1971 D Kennedy half dollar. This is a coin from the United States that has a DE mint mark, which means it was made at the Denver Mint. Some people say this coin is worth a lot of money. You may have seen posts or videos saying that a 1971 D half dollar can be worth $13,500 or even more. But is that really true? Let's look at the coin, what makes it special, and how much it can actually be worth. This coin was made in 1971. It is called a Kennedy half dollar because it has a picture of President John F. Kennedy on the front. That side of the coin is called the obverse. The word Liberty is written above his head, and underneath his chin you can see the motto, "In God We Trust." The date, 1971, is at the bottom. On the back of the coin, called the reverse, there is a bald eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, with a shield on its chest. The eagle design is surrounded by stars, and the words, "United States of America," and "half dollar," go around the edge. The design is bold and detailed, representing strength and peace. The Kennedy half dollar was first made in 1964, just a few months after President Kennedy was assassinated. People loved him very much, and the coin was created to honor him. When it was first made in 1964, the coin contained 90% silver. After that, from 1965 to 1970, the half dollar was made with 40% silver. But in 1971, the United States Mint changed the metal again. The 1971 half dollars, including the ones made in Denver with the DE mint mark, were made with no silver at all. Instead, they were made with a copper core covered by a copper-nickel outer layer. This mix of metals is called Clad. The change was made because silver had become too expensive, and the government wanted to save money by using cheaper materials. Because of this change, all regular 1971 D Kennedy half dollars are made of base metals, not silver. Many people still think their coin might be silver because it looks shiny, but it is not. You can tell by looking at the edge of the coin. If you see a thin brown or reddish line in the middle of the edge, that is the copper showing through. That means it is a Clad coin, not silver. The United States Mint made a lot of these coins in 1971. In Denver alone, over 302 million half dollars were made that year. That is a huge number, and it means that the 1971 D Kennedy half dollar is not a rare coin. Because so many were made, most of them are still around today, sitting in drawers, jars, and old coin rolls. You can sometimes find them in change or at the bank. Since they are so common, most 1971 D half dollars are only worth their face value of 50 cents. However, collectors do care about condition. If your coin has been used for many years, it will show wear and scratches. Coins like that are called circulated coins, and they are usually only worth their face value. But if your coin has never been used and still looks clean and shiny, it is called uncirculated. Uncirculated coins can be worth a little more to collectors. A nice shiny 1971 D half dollar with no scratches might sell for a few dollars. A very high-grade coin, one that has been carefully kept and looks almost perfect, might sell for $10 or $20. So where does the story about $13,500 come from? That big number is not for a normal coin. It comes from a special and very rare mint error. When the U.S. Mint was switching from 40% silver coins to the new copper-nickel Clad coins in 1971, a few leftover silver planchets were still in the coin presses. A planchet is the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. Some of these silver planchets were left behind from 1970 and accidentally got stamped with the new 1971 design. That means a few 1971 D half dollars were made on silver planchets instead of the new Clad ones. These coins are extremely rare and very valuable. One of these rare error coins was found and sold at auction. It was tested and confirmed to be struck on a 40% silver planchet, even though it was dated 1971 and had the DE mint mark. The coin was in very good condition and was graded by a professional coin grading company called PCGS. It sold for over $13,000. That is where the $13,500 story comes from. It was a real sale, but it was for a very special coin that was made by mistake. Most 1971 D Kennedy half dollars are not like that. Almost all of them are normal copper-nickel coins. They do not have any silver in them, and they are worth only 50 cents to a few dollars at most. Only a tiny number were made on silver planchets by accident, and those are the ones worth thousands. If you think you might have one of these rare silver planchet errors, there are a few ways to check. First, you can weigh your coin. A regular copper-nickel half-dollar weighs about 11.34 grams. A 40% silver coin weighs a little more, around 11.50 grams. It is not a big difference, but it can be noticed on a good digital scale. If your coin weighs more than normal, it might be an error coin. Second, listen to the sound. When you drop a silver coin gently on a table, it makes a higher, more ringing sound than a Clad coin. The Clad coins sound duller. Third, you can look closely at the edge of the coin. A silver coin will look the same color all the way through. A Clad coin will show a brownish copper color in the middle. If you think you have one of these special coins, do not try to clean it. Cleaning a coin can scratch it and lower its value. Instead, you can send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can test it, weigh it, and confirm whether it is silver or Clad. If it turns out to be a real silver planchet error, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Besides the rare silver planchet error, there are a few other kinds of errors that collectors like to find on 1971D half dollars. Sometimes a coin is struck off-center, meaning the design is not in the middle. When that happens, part of the coin might be blank, and collectors find that interesting. Depending on how far off the design is, an off-center coin could be worth $50 to a few $100s. Another error is called a double die, which means the design was accidentally struck twice, and you can see a slight doubling of the letters or numbers. These are rare but not impossible. If the doubling is strong and easy to see, the coin could be worth several $100s. There is also something called a clipped planchet error. This happens when the blank piece of metal was not cut properly, and part of the coin looks like a small bite has been taken out of it. These coins are also collectible, and depending on how big the clip is, they can be worth $50 or more. Another kind of error is a missing Clad layer. Because the 1971 half dollar is made with layers of metal, sometimes the outer nickel layer is missing on one side. That makes the coin look reddish or coppery. Coins like that can sell for $80 or more, especially if they are in good shape. In addition to regular business strike coins, the Mint also made special coins for collectors in 1971. But not like the earlier special mint sets from 1965 to 1967. In 1971, the Mint made proof coins only in San Francisco, and those have an S mint mark, not a D. So if your coin says D, it was made for general circulation in Denver. There were no silver proofs or silver versions for Denver that year, so any Denver coin with silver is in error, which is why it's so rare and valuable. Now let's talk about grading, which means judging how good a coin's condition is. A coin that has been in people's pockets for years, showing scratches and dull surfaces, is called circulated. A coin that looks clean and shiny, with sharp details, is uncirculated. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A 1971D half dollar in average circulated condition is worth 50 cents. A nice uncirculated one might bring $2 to $5. A top-grade example, say MS-67 or higher, could sell for hundreds if a collector really wants it. But only a few coins reach that level. Most 1971D half dollars are not in such perfect condition because they were made for everyday use. If someone tells you their 1971D Kennedy half dollar is worth thousands of dollars, you should ask them what makes it special. Is it an error coin? Does it have proof that it was struck on silver? Is it graded by PCGS or NGC? Without those things, it is almost certainly not worth that much. Many people online post coins for sale with huge price tags, but that does not mean anyone is paying those prices. Always check real auction results to see what similar coins have actually sold for. If you find a 1971D half dollar and want to know if it is special, take your time and look carefully. Check the weight, the color, the sound, and the details. If you see anything that looks unusual, like a missing layer, off-center design, or strange color, it might be an error. You can also join online coin groups and post clear pictures to ask other collectors for opinions. many experienced collectors can spot common errors or signs of damage. Remember, most coins are just coins. But once in a while, one coin out of millions has something different about it. That is what makes coin collecting fun. You never know what you might find in an old jar or a box of change. But it's important to be realistic. The chances of finding a $13,500 1971 half dollar are very small, but not impossible. That record price came from a true minting mistake, a coin that should not have existed at all. If you enjoy looking through coins, you are already taking part in a great hobby. Coin collecting teaches you history, art, and patience. Each coin has a story, and the 1971 Kennedy half dollar tells a story about change in American money. It shows how the U.S. Mint moved away from silver and started using cheaper metals, how millions of coins were made for daily life, and how even in common coins, rare treasures can appear by accident. So yes, it is true that a 1971 Kennedy half dollar can be worth $13,500. But that only happens for a rare era coin struck on a silver planchet, and it must be confirmed and graded by professionals. For almost everyone else, a 1971 half dollar is worth 50 cents, or maybe a few dollars if it's shiny and new. Still, it is always worth checking. You never know. One coin in your collection might surprise you. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you understand the real story behind the 1971 Kennedy half dollar. If you learned something new, give this video a like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more videos about rare coins and what they are really worth. Keep looking through your change, stay curious, and happy coin hunting!